citizens seek petition to convene grand jury for investigating David Prater. So if you hadn't been following the news, David Prater has done every conceivable thing in his power, I think we talked about last week, to disrupt both the jail trust, which he has been opposed to since its inception, and the Pardon and Parole Board, which is currently, seeing that to possibly, or advocating to release or commute the sentence of Julius Jones, which Prater disagrees with. And so what's funny about this is I had been talking with another activist operative who was trying to convince me that this was like a thing we should do, which it's just really hard because it's a petition. So there is a process by which you can do a citizen's petition to call a grand jury about something. And so some folks got together and figured it out, and that's pretty exciting. So it really is an attempt to go after Prater for his many uses of his power that are politically dubious, for his basically bullying of various entities, because he's been investigated in the past. I mean, to tell you how unhinged this dude is, he got caught in the past when his own private investigator said, "I'm out, man. I can't do this," for trying to investigate the ACLU and Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform. Yeah, like
he was trying to get their bank records.
Yeah, I mean,
which, by the way, I'm a lawyer. Believe it or not, there's some shreds of fucking rights, civil rights, that exist in this country in spite of our Supreme Court. And you need probable cause. You cannot retroactively get probable cause. If a district attorney, federal government, whoever wants to look at your bank records, they cannot just say, "Well, fuck, let me see what Nick got going today because I don't like him." Like, nah, like they have to find some probable cause that Nick's money comes from some illegal source, and then they must present that to a judge who can decide if there is enough probable cause. Probable cause means it's more likely than not that Nick has committed some financial crimes, and therefore you can look at Nick's records.
Right.
Which, by the way, if we're concerned about that, if he wants to be concerned about that, we just had the fucking those Panama Papers just fucking came out. If you're concerned about hiding, concealing money and financial crimes and looking at somebody's pay account records, there are tons of oil and gas oligarchs that you can go at. Every fucking month, ProPublica is like, "Well, you know these billionaires fucking us again." If you're interested in that, go find some fucking oil and gas oligarch and look at his records. I'm sure there's a ton of probable cause there.
Instead of investigating like nonprofit directors over at Team, I mean, it's like, Chris Steele makes some decent money, but it's like still in the low six figures, like not exactly like cashing out over there.
But the thing is, man, and I said this, it made no sense. He just acts like a petulant child, and this is what happens when people get wholly unaccountable. Right. Absolute power corrupts. And he just acts like a petulant child because he feels he has absolute power. He feels that no one can check his power, and therefore he can open completely frivolous investigations. Like Chris Steele is not a nobody, right? Like
former Speaker of the House, yeah.
Right, it's one thing to open an investigation into like my mama's records. She don't fucking money, so you can see nothing. But like, it's one thing. Sorry, mom, but it's one thing to like open investigation to my mama records. But like, Chris Steele is a former Speaker of the Oklahoma House, right? So it takes some fucking gall. And what you're saying, if you're trying to open a baseless, without probable cause, a completely baseless investigation into the financial records into a person who was once one of the most powerful people in the state, you don't believe your power can be checked. And when you don't believe your power can be checked, you can act like a petulant child anytime you're challenged whatsoever. And again, and I say the petulant child things, I say this all the time, like since we're talking about Julius Jones, right? Like every other DA, this is standard practice for DAs. DAs are just lock motherfuckers up and nothing else. This is a person that they locked up, and they disagree with this person getting a sentence commuted. They send a fucking letter. I disagree. Think we did our job. Think you're guilty. Have a good day. He could have done that. That's what most DAs in America do.
He did. Like, no, I mean, he's done that. He checked that.
Yeah, box. You send a fucking letter, and then you come about today. he's acting like a petulant child. I actually mentioned this a couple times when we were talking at the meetup Saturday. I mentioned this all the time on the stream. It's like, why is he going so fucking hard on this? Like, like you could just be like, I disagree, fam, and keep pushing. But I thought about it, and I think because Jones has garnered so much national attention, he just views that as like encroachment on his power, and he's a petulant child. So think about that to its natural conclusion. It's garnered so much national attention because people think this man is innocent, right? It's garnered so much national attention because people do not want to kill an innocent man. People around the world. He finds that so challenging to his power that he acts like a petulant child enough to open grand jury investigations, to bully people off the board. I mean, the things he's doing, it's like, at some point, it's like, you just have to have something better to do in your office, bro. Like you just have to be, you know what I mean?
I mean, the county jail is killing a person a month, maybe figure out something around that, dude. Like, I mean, I get it. You're upset about Julius Jones and,
but I don't get it.
Peace to the Howell family for their loss, but like you got fucking problems of your own, dude.
All of that can be addressed in a letter. I disagree. I'm not saying me, by the way. David Prater could say he disagrees. He thinks that Julius Jones is guilty. The Howell family thinks that Julius Jones should be killed. That's their only option, I guess. So that's how they feel. And he doesn't believe there'll be a carriage of justice. That's 2 fucking paragraphs if he wanted it to be. Right? And again, the thing about it is there's no like political backlash. Number one, he's not running again. But even if he was running, no political backlash for not going as hard as he's going against Julius Jones. Even if he was running again and he sent that letter, like there would be no, oh my gosh, why isn't Prater doing more? Like, again, there is no large murder Julius Jones caucus. We know there's not. If there was, Kevin Stitt would have said long, oh, no, we're going to kill him. Because Kevin is literally like a raw political animal with no other. It's like he was creating a fucking conservative lab with no other ability, intellectual ability. Like nothing else is going on up there. So if there was some murder Julius Jones large in this state, then like we would know about it, right? But there isn't. So like the motivation to go this hard is because he feels his power is being challenged, and he is such a fucking maniac about that power that he's willing to go through great lengths, many regards illegal lengths, especially when it comes to investigations and bullying. It's unethical and by the actual statutes of this state, of this country, illegal to open up a frivolous investigation without probable cause and do the sorts of things that he has done, is doing to a certain power. And
I forget about the ACLU one because it only made a blip on the news. But I mean, literally, the private investigator that he hired is the one who snitched on the investigation because he was like, this is so far over the line. Like, I feel it's unethical. Like, I'm doing the investigation, presumably paid by the DA's office, and I just can't do this. Like, I feel this just crosses my personal boundaries. So he was willing to go up against Prater saying that he thought this was just completely unethical and not right. And it made the news, and that was the end of it. Like, Prater went on with his life. And I think it's also worth pointing out, too, that what he's trying to get, like, so we got one guy to recuse, right? I mean, so, like, the Julius Jones, the commutation hearing, like, one guy did say, like, yeah, I know one of the people who's presenting for Julius, so I'm out. Like, I'm not going to rule on this. But he tried to get Kelly Doyle and Adam Luck, and it was for literally, like, tweets and, like, opinions. Like, they said, I have an issue with the death penalty process in Oklahoma, which, mind you, we haven't killed someone for 6 fucking years because we can't even get the killing part right. So, like, this, like, there's some precedent here.
Conservative Supreme Court that also had a problem with the death penalty in Oklahoma. So
right. So, I mean, it's like, it's not like a baseless thing that just, wild-eyed liberals or progressives think in this state. It's like the courts have said you cannot kill people because you are incapable of doing it correctly. So, like, anyway, so Prater just, it really is bonkers what he's trying to do. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know politically. I haven't heard inside baseball too much on it, but like, I think it's going to be a tough sell because the petition goes before Ray Elliott, who is a known ally of Prater's. So I don't I don't know. My guess is he tries to find any technicality he can to throw it out. But if he doesn't, I mean, 5,000 signatures in Oklahoma County is not that many. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.